Mr. Hahn. All right, thank you for coming to today's site plan meeting. We'll start by doing introductions by going around the table. We'll start with LeVar.
LeVar with the City Street Sanitation Department.
Rich Butler with the City Sewer Thorn.
Scott Murphy, Street Sanitation Superintendent.
Chase Clark, Building Official and Fire Marshal.
Kristen Lee, Water Superintendent.
Mr. Myler, Planning and Zoning Administrative Assistant with Nothing, Permit Technician.
Wade Gardner, Facilities Manager.
And Travis Allen, Planning and Zoning Administrator.
Scott Stuckman there.
Servando Bermudez, DHR Construction.
We got your application and with your drawings. Is there anything more you'd like to share with us about this project?
Well, actually, that's all. I just want to know that that's gonna work for you guys. So, in terms of the location of the building, the lot, and everything. Mostly, but I just want to work with you guys.
Okay. LeVar's part of street sanitation, but Scott will cover that section. You got anything other than what Scott's gonna cover tomorrow? Okay. We'll start with Rex.
Okay. The sewer at that location is about 6 feet deep. Each residence must be connected separately to the city sewer. Each connection would be $7,000. Stormwater and snow removal must be retained on site or hauled off site. Cannot be pushed out onto the road. And there is no sewer main north of the manhole at the corner of Lilac and Parsons.
There's none?
Not to the north of it, to the south there is,
Okay.
but not to the north.
That's good. We have to wait for Misty to get caught up on those too, so.
Oh, okay. No, she's gonna do all the.
Yeah, you'll get the notes from the meeting.
I'll send you all the notes, so you
Oh,
can
okay.
pay attention.
So you pay attention.
I'm gonna make a very big list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Misty will send those to you after this meeting's been completed.
Any questions?
No, the only question is why so expensive? Yeah, $7,000 fee, it has to be, every unit has to have their own.
Are you planning to sell the units individually or
Uh,
sole ownership?
I was planning to do just one building because I'm, actually, I don't plan to sell them.
Okay,
I'm just gonna keep them, I don't just go every fire.
so single owner for all three units?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the.
that helps us give you some answers here too. So
Yeah.
like Rex said, it would be one connection fee for one sole owner. If you was to do a PUD and divide it up to where it could be sold individually,
Yeah.
we would have separate connections.
The plan is just sell one saw, if it's sell, if not, I'm just gonna refi and rent them, and,
Still need individual connections per unit.
yeah.
Scott?
So the parking plan that you have here, where the stalls pull in from the street and back out onto the street, that's not gonna work. You're gonna have to, because of the fact that there's so many spaces right next to each other backing out into the roadway, it's unsafe, especially at the intersection that property's at. So we need to figure out another way, maybe to do the parking in the back,
Parking in the back,
in the far back, drive down through the driveway, parking the cars in the back
okay,
somehow.
so we need 7, parking spots for that, that's a 2.25 each unit.
Yeah.
So it'll be 7, we have 3 car garages, maybe we can do 4 and, right in the back.
Yeah, 4 spaces in the back,
Yeah.
and then the garage is counted as a space each.
Okay, so it'll be, I think that's gonna be fine.
Okay.
And maybe we can, just to avoid that, we can do 2 in the back and 2 in front, but.
But not
facing the
pull
fence,
straight
yeah.
in, pull
Facing the
into
fence so
the,
they can pull back. Okay.
that could work too.
Okay, so I make that change.
The sidewalk there, because it's, over time, it's degraded. You're gonna need to replace the sidewalk and then replace the curb. Because the watershed from the top of the sidewalk doesn't shed because the sidewalk is sunken down in that area below the top of the sidewalk. So it doesn't shed properly to the roadway.
Okay,
So new curb and gutter and sidewalk will need to be, installed there.
okay, we
Okay?
can do that, yeah. Either way, we're gonna need to cut some of them to.
Yeah, I know you're gonna have to do the approach and everything anyways. So.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's all I have.
That's garbages.
Oh, for sanitation, it's gonna be one residential container for each unit. And they'll just pull the plastic container out on the street when it's trash day,
Okay,
okay?
yeah.
Okay, so for building,
Wait a second.
oh, sorry.
Fingers are cheering on mine.
And then one doing the hard work.
Okay. Fire marshal.
Okay, fire marshal, so, we have coverage as far as water supply, it's in the middle of the city, we got hydrants close enough. The entrance and exit should work for vehicular access for fire trucks. We wanna make sure, however, your parking ends up being that it doesn't block, which usually it won't, because residents have to get in and out to the units, but just, you know, when this changes, I'll need to review it again. And then, depending on how these units, if these units stay this way, we wanna make sure emergency services can see an address very clearly from the street sign.
I'll make sure.
And then, 3 units, you should be good. Fire marshal, for building official, the way these are designed, this would fall under the residential code. And you indicated the firewalls between each one. The only thing that I would ask is to get a UL listed firewall, and I can help you with that. There's hundreds of them. But essentially, we want to make sure we have the actual firewall that you want to build to, and then attach that to the plans. And it's easy enough to do, they're all pre-designed. But it makes it easier for the builder, and then of course, when they come and inspect, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
But other than that, you have all your clearances on each side. And this should work for building.
And for, excuse me,
Wait a minute.
I can do that too.
Yeah, except mine actually made me worse.
Yeah, sorry. For water, there's service available. You need to do a meter for each unit where you're doing separate sewer. So the connection fees, availability fees for that are $24.68 a piece for one inch service.
Right.
24.18. Yeah, that's close. New numbers, try not to. And then you'll have to have all the materials for the meter service and that, according to our standards, which Misty will attach those.
Is there a way we can make the tree in just one piece?
So no, we use a coil pit and they sit side by side, but they're a little smaller. You can do tandem pits, but they cost more than just doing 3 pits. And you'll have to make sure you maintain 10 feet of separation from the sewer lines.
Okay.
And then those same meter pits, they'll need to be where they aren't going to be driven on because they aren't rated for traffic. So they've got to be in some sort of protected green space so they're not driving on them and damaging them because they'll get bills for radios and damage to equipment. As you progress, we can meet you on site and help you select a good location to put those. Just-
I think if we're gonna do a new sidewalk, we can place it there.
So they would be just behind the sidewalk. And like I said, we can help you get a good spot. When you get kind of your site layout and stuff, we can meet you over there. That's not a big deal. You're responsible for all the excavation, backfilling materials. We will provide a meter and radio at your cost, so we just charge you for those.
Okay.
And then as far as landscaping goes, any sprinkler systems that require a separate permit. But I would really recommend doing zero escape low water usage. Just as water, I mean, this year's been terrible for snow, right? So
Yeah.
as water gets harder and harder and gets thinner, it's better to have low water using plants than try to plant grasses
Yeah.
and stuff. So whatever you can do to have a zero escape landscape is in your favor.
Yeah, it'll be very little because I just wanna save the trees that are in the back of the one of the side of the. I think it's gonna be enough because most of them, part of the leftovers on the lot is gonna be just a driveway or parking lot, so it's gonna be very little, but it's not much.
Okay, so that would be all that I have for the water, but if you have any other questions, you can always reach out to my office and
You'll get everybody's contact information.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need it.
we're here to help you get it.
Remember.
We're here to help you get it done as best we can, so.
Okay, thank you so much.
I don't have anything.
For planning and zoning, I know this on your setbacks, on your site setback, you have 8 foot right there. We do a minimum of 5 foot setback, but we also require 6 inches for every height in every foot of height in the building.
Okay.
And so you're about 28 foot tall, is that correct?
Something like that.
Yeah, so that would put you at 13 feet for a setback, but we do have an exemption within our code that allows that to be reduced to 10 feet. Because your setback at 10 feet is allowed with side yards if you abut up to other MDR zones or HDR zones, and we do that. So you're probably gonna have to at least make that setback on the side of at least 10 feet. If you want to move your parking to the back, we do have an exemption in there saying that that you can have only a 15-foot setback in the front if you move your parking to the rear.
Oh, that works a lot.
So that'll help you do that. And then, but when you move that setback over here on the side to 10 foot, that's going to reduce the length of your driveway. So I don't know if that would,
It's only 2 feet, that's not a big deal.
so you'd want to keep that clear.
Yeah.
So people, when you trying to park in that driveway and blocking the driveway to the rest of the parking spots behind. What you're really close on to as well is the building coverage. You can only cover 60% of the lot with impervious surfaces and the building, so that includes your sidewalks, your driveway, your parking lot, and the footprint of the building.
So if he moved the parking to the back, he could potentially put grass in the front, which would open
Yes.
up
Which would give him some more space.
give you more space where it's not hard surface, so that you meet that requirement that he's talking about.
Misty, you want to put that clear now?
Okay. That's gonna be some protection for the wildlife.
Well, if you look up on the screen, this is Near Map. It's a tool that I use. You can see how I've tried to put your driveway where you normally have it. And then the orange rectangle in the back would be about the size of parking that you'd be able to do. And the building footprint, I think you had 2,900 square feet, but I just squared it off to 2,908. And so that shows a 5-foot setback in the front, and then the 10-foot setback to the south. And then you meet the setback you're more than the setback requirements to the rear when you put that parking lot back there. You still have to have your surveyor or your drafter draw that up to get 60% of lands, or 60% of impervious surfaces and building program, or 40% landscaping.
Okay.
And you're real close right there. I think I got that down to like 60.1%
Okay, so it's,
with that kind of layout.
okay.
I'm really close. I got a copy of that for you right here. If you want to take that, use that. So that's trying to figure out that situation for you. We did have, back in 2024, we did have an application for a conditional use permit for that exact lot. We put a fourplex in there. They had a different design for that. I just want to share that with you, just so you have another idea on how to get that parking in there. So they did propose that site, and that shows the parking in the front. But that is a fourplex, that isn't a triplex with garages or driveways. But how they put the parking in there, that would have been acceptable. I noticed all your triplexes, none of them would be considered ADA because they're 2 stories and your full bathrooms are upstairs. So I don't think we'd require an ADA parking spot for it. If they can't live there other than visitors, so you might consider that for a parking spot for a visitor. Let's see. I think that's all. Just double check. Yeah, I think that's all you get from me. Mayor, do you have anything?
No.
Do you have any questions for us?
Only this one, if, maybe I can make the first floor smaller.
And then have a cantilever second floor. That would be up to the building review, but that, yes, it would reduce your square footage on your main floor. That's what I consider.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I can, that's not gonna, well, I think it could affect the setback, the second
No.
floor.
What might affect your setback is in our code for a design like this, we still require 1 foot eaves, and that setback is measured at the nearest point. So
Oh, okay. There it is.
you'd have to measure to the eave and not to the foundation of the wall.
Well, here you marked 12 feet, but it's gonna be 10.
Yeah, well, I just measured that just to see how long the driveway would be after I moved your building over.
Okay.
So that's what,
Oh.
that driveway, you didn't have them dimensions on your original drawing, so I had to print it out and create my own scale
Okay.
to get the dimensions I needed. So that's what I got. Is that correct? You just planning on a 10-foot wide driveway right there.
Okay.
And so that's what I figured out from your scale and from this. And then that reduces this side of the building down to about 26.5 feet by the time you move it over.
Okay.
And then that would give you 15 foot of grass in the front. I wouldn't go any closer to the street than that. You're given that because you're moving all your parking to the back. If you don't put the parking in the back, then we have to move that back to 20.
Okay.
On your driveway, we'll want to try to stretch that out to 12 feet
12 feet? Okay.
for fire trucks.
So yeah, that'll take it another 100 square feet to make that driveway wider. I don't know if, reducing the main floor square footage to help you with that problem
Okay.
might help you on the design, but keep that 60% in mind. If you wanted to continue with that same design, you could apply for a variance. Variance takes a couple months to get through. On this side, I'd have to talk with the P and Z commissioners and see, you're so close.
Yeah.
Other zones would require like 40% lot coverage, and this allows 60. So to give you just a little bit more, they might be able to do that. You know, if you can have a proposed plan that's closer to that 60% mark, and we allowed maybe 65 or something in that variance, I think we could probably do that. But you'd have to apply for a variance and have that go through planning and zoning. Like I said, you're real close. I like your design. I think it would fit in that lot very well. That's the only thing I can't solve for you is trying to get that. On your plan as well, you have the lot at 75 feet wide. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think you're might be a little smaller.
It's, well, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I think my measurement from the fences.
Yeah,
And the front it's 74.5, something like that, and the back is almost 80.
yeah, because your lot size is assessed a little bit bigger than that, like 0.22 acres. And if you do 75 by 123, I think that's just a hair smaller. If you do use the actual dimensions of the parcel or find out what them actually are.
Okay.
I don't know if you was shaving some of that down because of them trees that you don't want to maintain along there.
Yeah. Well, I did it from fence to fence. I did, but I can just call a surveyor and find out the exact, because sometimes neighbors, they.
Put the fence in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it is, maybe that's the case because the fence, like I said, in the front is 74 and the middle is like 77 and all
Yeah,
the way.
the lot is
almost 80.
kind of an odd shape too, so know where that property line is.
Especially where the seller still owns the one to the north. He probably didn't care where the fence was, so
Oh, okay.
it's a good idea.
So yeah, well, according to your dimensions, 123 by 75 is 0.2117 acres. According to the county taxes, you own 0.23 acres.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know where that,
We're gonna
I mean,
take some fences.
so I'm drawing a perfect square saying that you're
Okay.
using less acreage than what you're assessed for.
Yeah. So maybe with that, we're gonna be fine.
And it'll give you more breathing,
Yeah.
room. It'll give you some more real numbers to use and get you closer either to that 60% mark or, you know, say I need 65 or something to do the variance.
Okay? Sounds good.
I don't think we have any other questions for you. You don't have any questions for us?
No, I don't have a lot of questions, but it's gonna be
Okay.
during the
Yeah,
process.
you'll get a notification through the portal where you applied, and that's where you'll be able to download all our contact information and all the notes that we're taking at this meeting.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna try to make all the modifications and we get done by the middle of next week. We can bring them and we go from there.
Yeah, if you meet all the recommendations from this meeting, they'll probably be applied when you do apply for a building permit.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. We have another meeting after this.
Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.